Labour Shadow Home Secretary Diane Abbott, welcome to you. Mr Corbyn says he welcomes this chance to go to the polls, but looking at the opinion polls, he'd have to be mad to welcome this, wouldn't he?
Well, we do welcome it, and this won't be the first time that pollsters have called a general election wrong, either in this country or in America. And this is a massive U-turn by Theresa May. It's a cut-and-run election, and we know the British public doesn't like unnecessary general elections, and this is the definition of an unnecessary general election. So I think the pollsters may be in for a surprise. You will just remember that election that Edward Heath called saying we need to find out who governs Britain, and the British public said, well, you clearly don't. I think this general election may surprise a lot of pollsters.
I mean, I can't recall a 20% gap being turned around in a general election. I know pollsters do get it wrong. Well,
we are going to go out there and fight this election to win, and we believe that when the public really has to focus and compare Theresa May's version of Brexit, which puts immigration above every other consideration to the detriment of growth and jobs and living standards, and also compare her values. This is a woman hand in hand with Donald Trump, who gives every appearance of a man that doesn't take his responsibilities as leader of the free world seriously. I think when they compare our position on Brexit, which is about protecting jobs and living standards, when they compare our values, I think that will be in our favour.
On the principle, though, of seeking a stronger mandate to deal with the Brexit question, I mean, I know you don't like her position, but, I mean, she's right, isn't she, that it is a bit delicate at the moment. She has to rely on your support, so she needs to get support from her own party.
Well, it's not just that she's only got a 12 MP majority, but I think her Brexit strategy is collapsing. That's why she's cutting and running. But the British public will understand that, they won't appreciate that, and she'll pay a price for that at the polls.
How radical should the Labour manifesto be at this stage? We know that Mr Corbyn, compared to his predecessor's leader, has long-standing radical positions.
I think that we need to have a manifesto which reflects our values and the values of the leadership, and I believe that will be a radical manifesto, and it will be welcomed by the British public.
I mean, for example, Trident. What will you say about Trident?
No, Trident is a separate question. We're going to renew Trident. But on things like universal free school meals, more money for carers, trying to halt the closures of high street banks, we've got a series of radical policies, and we're going to be adding to them, and we're going to be putting them before the British public.
And that would be deficit funded, I mean, more borrowing.
Not necessarily deficit funding. I mean, there are ways, some of the tax cuts that the Tories had proposed, we wouldn't put them through, and we would spend that money on the people's priorities.
What do you say to the bookies who say it's odds on Mr Corbyn won't be Labour leader on June the 9th?
I say they're wrong. I say we're fighting this election to win, and Jeremy would be leader on the 9th.
And the next Prime Minister?
And the next Prime Minister.
You didn't frankly have the balls to put country before party.